As Professor Kevin Esvelt of MIT has written, gain-of-function research looks like a gamble that civilization can't afford to risk. Because gain-of-function research with laboratory-created viruses not found in nature could cause a pandemic even worse the next time. They're experimenting with viruses that have mortalities of between 15 and 50%. Yes, our civilization could be at risk from one of these viruses.
This man who was in the country illegally, was a Chinese national, bankrolled by the CCP, opening up this lab in Reedley, California, where they were doing experiments on all these hazardous samples of Ebola, malaria, strains of COVID. And then there were about 1,000 lab mice who had been genetically modified. None of that was permitted or authorized, all of it illegal. Now, Chairman Gallagher's report shows that there were local officials trying to reach out to the CDC and that they were, again, hesitant. I want to quote from it specifically. It says here, according to local officials, CDC refused to speak with them. And on a number of occasions, it was reported by local officials the CDC hung up on them mid-conversation. There was also dispute later. This report says that the CDC ended up destroying a lot of these samples without actually testing them, so we don't know the extent of what was actually in those labs. And he also says the FBI at one point dropped their investigation.
Madam Chair, I rise in support of my amendment, which essentially prohibits funds from being used to conduct or support gain-of-function research.
For decades, scientists have been warning that gain-of-function research with potential pandemic pathogens could cause an outbreak. From 2014 to 2017, we had paused funding for gain-of-function research after a series of lab accidents and due to fear of a lab-caused pandemic. However, Dr. Fauci and others recommended that the prohibition be removed, and unfortunately, our worst fears came true.